Hello again guys. So in this video what I'm going to feature mainly on is blushing pink. I've noticed over all these years that I've been working in the business that no matter how hard I try to push pink off the grid, it comes right back in. So I thought why not just give you all the pink I can in one video and make you really happy. I'm going to mix a few things around and make her look really fresh, summery and young, and mainly using pink as my palette and avoiding too many dark colors like black or brown. Her base is fully done. Her eyes are prepped for eyeshadow. By prepped I mean there's concealer powder and you can use a primer also because it's really fast and primer keeps your makeup for long hours. So if you're dancing or you go to a wedding and you get slightly even sweaty, it won't move. Let me get started. I'm just going to take off the lines from her eyes by giving it a light brush. Now because there's not too many dark colors, the segregation of colors is very important. What I mean by that is to make sure that you're placing the colors right. So I'm going to start by doing the pink actually. Remember at weddings and stuff you have accents with jewelry. So you want to save that for golds or silvers. Again I'm using rounded brushes because I find these the most effective for blending. So I'm just giving you an indicator how I use the pink. I'm taking my blush brush, using the same color and literally wrapping. Again, not going heavy, I'm just indicating for myself where I can take this makeup. In a way, it's quite monochromatic as well. Now I'm going in with the color that I will use in the center of her eyelids, which is more jeweled. Perhaps a gold, perhaps a bronze, silver, whatever you think suits you. I'm going in with the soft gold. If you find that the eyeshadow has more fall than you expect, just put a little bit of powder to catch the fall. Okay. Now you can start building up on the product. So I have a bit of the base done. The point of this is to wrap an already pop color. So the light on the eyelids make the eyes wide and beautiful. And I'm just literally wrapping it in a pink. Just going back in with the pink to intensify the color. Now that I know I've already made an indicator of how far I want to go with the eye makeup and the color itself. Again repeating what I did essentially. When I turn her like this, you shouldn't be able to see too much of a seam between the two colors. It should blend in such a way that it carries, the light and shadow kind of is seamless. I'm going to start working up the color now, a little heavier as I go. So I've used a cream basically to indicate the color. Now I'm going to go in with the powder. I'm essentially using a blush, but if you have a nice hot pink eyeshadow, you must use that. I'm just using a blush. Now the reason you also use powder is because then you set the cream. The cream stays in place. So now I'm going to introduce a liner. Again, I'm not using a black, just a brown. And I'm going to even pick that up with pink. It's just kind of shaping the eye, giving it a little definition. Not going all the way either. Just midway. And blending it to a very, very soft finish. Now I'm going over with the same pink that I'd used before. Now really close to the lash line, the same brown. Smudge it off. So no kohl in the eyes, just want to keep everything quite soft. Going back in with the cream and continuing to wrap her cheekbone. And for those of you that like to contour your face, you can always add the contour right now and blend it in with the cheek color. So I'm using a light terracotta bronze. Now use a nude blush if you have one, or anything softer than the pink, and highlight the apples of your cheeks. So there's a contrast between this area and the colored area of your cheek. I'm using a very light, almost peachy rose, just to give some pop on the cheek. Now take a good look at your eyes, and again using a blending brush, make sure everything is tied up together so you don't see any lines. Again, the effects of this makeup needs to be very soft and petal-like. No lines. Now with a big load of mascara, I'm just going to finish off her eye makeup. So I'm just going to do the lightest dab of lip color. Doing a nude pencil and using the finger or a brush, just a very light dab of pink. You don't want a very deliberate shape in a look like this. Again, just to brighten the eyes and open them a little bit without using a Kohl, I'm using a creamy white pencil in the waterline. Again, don't whack it in like a deliberate color, you just want a soft smudge of that color. So that should tie up the eye makeup, and it really looks nice because the eyes are wide and open and bright. So that pretty much does it. It's very soft hand, use a soft hand, use rounded brushes and use colors that bring you flower-like feelings. I also like to attempt these in pastels, so it's a very 60s vibe if you actually look at it. You can even do these looks in mint greens, neons. They actually really work very well with this kind of a look. Enjoy, have a great party season.